for a dose of realism. It is time. We haven't heard from him since the last game of the season.
Since delegation fell to pieces.
Since delegation was in the mud. Let's bring him on. Stelios, Tottenham away, ole ole. How are we doing, Stel?
Can I say, right, for you to introduce me like that, that's delegations in the mud. The man who wanted Frank, the man who spent last summer telling us how Frank is the Messiah. You're a disgrace.
Well, you know what? We've got a new Messiah now, and that is Roberto De Zerbi.
We do. Roberto, a proper manager, someone that plays football the way we want to see it played, someone that knows how to motivate players. Listen, the day we signed it I was very happy that we got De Zerbi in. Didn't make any sense why we never got him earlier, really. We should have got him as soon as possible, you know. I think the whole relegation thing would have been avoided altogether if he came in a bit earlier. So,
Stel, let's talk about our transfer business. How are you feeling right now? Because a lot of Spurs fans are on cloud nine. You're seeing Spurs splashing the cash. Unprecedented transfer window
broken
from
twice
Tottenham
in 2
Hotspur.
days.
Yeah, exactly. Record broken twice in the space of 24 hours. How are you feeling? I can see a smile on your face.
That's the first. No, Jake.
I'm smiling because I've actually got an internet box and I've got internet in my house. I've only waited.
Spurs.
I was wondering, you know, it's very good quality.
Spurs ain't the only one splashing the cash.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I've waited 4 months for the Cypriots to figure out how to plug it in, but they got there in the end, so respect. Transfer window. See, I find myself in a middle ground with this. I'm not, pessimistic, negative. You can't be. We're doing business early. We're spending big money. A lot of things that the Levy out protest, the Enoch out protest was asking for. We were asking.
Are we getting good players as well? Is that also something we're doing, in your opinion?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So I'll just share my thoughts.
Okay,
because I think I'm a bit more contrarian to most people that do YouTube. I feel that you can't really judge what's going on now. We have to wait 3-4 years, which is a long wait, right? It's a long, long wait. Maybe it'll be done sooner. Maybe we can judge it in a couple of years. But I've seen Tottenham many a time when we're in the mud, when we're not in Europe, they try and save the situation, which is kind of what we're doing now. This is different. This is different because we're spending big on good players, on players that clearly, it's fair to say, look, the manager wants these players. I think every Spurs fan would agree a lot of these players are De Zerbi's choices, especially when you look at their profile and the way that De Zerbi's going to play football. They match the profile. So there's definitely a change, but for me, guys, and it's just me, and look, everyone's allowed to have their opinions and views in the chat and the comments. Feel what you want. If you're happy, if you're delirious, if you want to celebrate, do it. For me, when we become that top 4 club, which we will at some point, whether it's 2, 3, 4 years, maybe this season, who knows? Never say never. Maybe, right? Maybe. If once we get top 4, and maybe we come third, maybe, just maybe we come second, like we did with Poch. When we get back to that Poch place of where we were regarded as one of the proper big 6, we were always top 4. We were getting to Champions League finals, semi-finals of domestic cups, just falling short of winning league titles. When we get back to there, which is where I think we will get to at some point, it's what Enoch does then. That's the moment I will say things have changed. Because if they go big when we just fall short and they strike when the iron is hot and Tottenham are actually a top club again, then I'll say, right, they mean business. They actually mean business. Because that's the only way I'm going to know if they're doing this just to get back in the top 4 and get top 4 income, or if they're doing this because they actually want to win the biggest trophies that a football club can win. I saw Liverpool with Klopp do it. They fell short. They kept coming second, getting to finals, and then they just went and bought 2 outstanding players, Alisson and Van Dijk, and the rest is history. We saw Arsenal coming second, getting to semi-finals. And, everyone's thinking, right, Arteta's out. He spent £1 billion. What did Arsenal do? Right, let's get Gyökeres, let's get Eze, let's get Zubamendi, let's get Hincapié. And they went and won the league. The reason Liverpool and Arsenal won the league is because when they got to that striking distance, they both went big. I can't answer that question until we get to that place. I do think we are going to get to that place, though. I do think Tottenham will get to that place where we're challenging for the league, where we're top 4. If we go big then I'll get excited, because then I'll know this is truly different. Because I saw Poch get top 4 every season practically. I saw Conte get us back into the top 4. I saw Ange Postecoglou get us top 4 through the back door. Winning the Europa Cup, we got Champions League. None of those times did we go big. I need to see us go big when that happens, if that makes sense.
I understand that's fair enough, and until we get there, we won't know. But that even getting back to that place is a far cry from where we were last season, isn't it? You were saying, let's not be around the bush. You were saying you want us to get relegated. Not want us. You'd be happy to see us get relegated to change the approach of the board. So that's where your head was at a month ago or whatever, 6 weeks ago, and now you're saying you're confident we can get back to being a top 4 club. Is that not a massive change in your perspective on how the club is being run?
When De Zerbi came in, I said if he keeps us up, he will get us back into that European place. I never doubted his ability to do it. I didn't think he'd be back straight away. I never thought he'd get this kind of backing from day one, which he has. I never thought that would happen, so I got that one wrong. Fair enough. My whole thing behind delegation was enough was enough. Like, I was past breaking point. There was two schools of thought. There were those like me, or maybe just me, who said just relegate this club.
You and all the Stelegites.
The Delegation army. The only a catastrophic, financial, painful episode is the only way ENIC will ever change. They will never change unless all hell is brought on them, and relegation will do that. Then there was another school of thought that said being so close to relegation, 1 game away, the last game of the season, that's going to be the kind of scare that's going to kick them into gear. So it was 2 methods. Either relegation or almost getting relegated. My method so far is proving to be the wrong one, but I won't know until 3-4 years' time, like I explained. And those that said that almost getting relegated, that method is proving to be the right one. But the school of thought was the same. Whichever side of the fence you sat on, the argument was we need a major scare for them to fix up. I went for the extreme scare. Others went for a pretty scary one, but not extreme. But the school of thought was the same. It was, we need a seismic fear to be installed in the board for them to actually say, right, we can't do this anymore.
No, that's fair enough. But that's what we were saying, kind of, if we stay up, surely they would, that would be enough of a scare to be so close to relegation to, change how they're operating. And the moves, I know what you're saying about the moves we're making is out of desperation and all that kind of stuff, and it might well be, but we wouldn't have done this if we got relegated, would we? So you have to say that we've never operated in this way ever. I know what you've said. You've seen Tottenham kind of react to having a bad season, wanting to get back into and save the situation. But breaking your transfer record twice in 2 days, 6 signings since before the 2nd of July. Like, that is, and also not just that, beating the likes of City and Man United to big signings, competing with them and muscling them financially. That is something that's unprecedented, isn't it, for Tottenham?
It just goes to show how much money we've wasted in the past.
Yeah.
I've never been, Tim. I've never been one of these people. If you listen back to everything I've said, I've never been one of these people that says we need to spend more. We don't spend enough money. My argument's always been, we spend money badly, like really badly. Archie Gray's generational. Solanke fixes the press. Richarlison's a good option. I've never got on board with this. I've always felt that a lot of these players just aren't good enough. They shouldn't be at the football club. For me, what we're doing now is, it looks like we're signing players that actually suits the manager and the way he wants to play. And the one thing that we've done that we've never done before, I've never seen Tottenham do this. Every single signing has got one thing in common. I don't know if you've noticed. They've all got one thing in common. Even the Dubravkas and the Ben Davies. They've all got Premier League experience. Every single player we've signed has played in the Premier League. Yeah. Senesi, Van Hecke, Dubravka, Robertson, Davies, Fernandez, Tonali. When have we ever done that? You know, that's a good for me. That's a good thing. We're not taking a risk on some young kid like Tell or Bergvall who have never played in the Premier League. Fernandez is young, but he's played in the Premier League. At least he's got the experience of, he knows what's coming, right? So for me, that's probably the biggest change that I've noticed. It's not so much spending the money. We've spent money in the past and wasted it. We're actually signing players that have got Premier League pedigree, and they know the league. So I don't think it's going to take long for these players to hit the ground running. Is basically what I'm saying.
You know, you say it's not about money, but it actually all does come down to money, because us blowing our wage structure out the water to bring in a Tonali, to bring in a Fernandez, that helps us blow the likes of Man City and Manchester United out the water, right? Yeah. That never happened in the past. We would always have that wage cap, and that's why we would waste money on these players, because we couldn't attract the kind of players that we can attract now because of the wage structure. So it all comes down to money, and it all comes down to breaking that wage structure.
Well, all those Levy lovers that told us Levy outers, be careful what you wish for. Where are you? You know, be careful what you wish for. Stop being toxic. Levy's gone and the wage bill's suddenly changed. Levy's gone and we're doing business early. Levy's gone and negotiations look better. Is it a coincidence? Or is something actually fundamentally
no coincidence.
changed?
It's no coincidence whatsoever. But Levy's going to be texting Simon Jordan after every deal that we do, saying, "Oh, this team have pulled our pants down. They've got one over on Spurs. We're a laughing stock." But who the hell cares when we're getting this caliber of player through the door? I'm just so excited about who we're going to bring in the forward line now, because that's going to be the real difference.
So look, with the current players we've signed, I've got a mixed bag on this. So I'm not happy Ben Davies has stayed. I don't care if he wants to become a coach. I don't care if he's got experience, and I don't care.
Why does it matter too much?
Because my thinking is, if this is a 5-year project, like it genuinely is a project, De Zerbi's here to see this one out, then I would rather now start giving those extra places in the depths of the squad to academy players to slowly integrate them into this project, rather than stealing a place for Ben Davies. I'm totally against it. We've already got enough wing backs, centre backs, all sorts at the club. Let's give one or two of these academy kids a chance at this football club, rather than allowing Ben Davies to take that place. With Robertson, I'm 50-50 on him, because his stats have fallen off a cliff the last 2 years. I'm just not sure about him. I'll wait and see, though. Let's see how the season goes. Senesi, I think that's a top signing. There's so much positive about him. I think he's going to be the ideal player with experience and of a mature age that's going to help this team. The only thing with Senesi is he's probably going to need replacing in about 3 years' time. So I don't know if he'll be here for the end of the project, because his legs are going to go. He's 29. Van Hecke is the perfect signing. If you look at him, the last 4 years, all his stats are on the up. His trajectory is a positive one every single season. He is now ready at his age to come to a bigger club for a bigger project. So I think Van Hecke is the best signing of the lot when I look at his age and where he's going and how he's been performing the last 4 years. Tonali...
Wait, how do you compare Van Hecke to Romero, with Romero leaving and Van Hecke coming in?
Listen, I like Romero. A lot of fans don't like him. I like Romero. I want him to stay at the club. I think he'd be good under De Zerbi. But the reality is, I don't think Romero wants to be here. I don't think Romero wants to be at Tottenham. I think Romero, he wants out. He wants something different. And if that opportunity comes, I think he takes it, if the clubs can agree the price. So I don't even think it's a question, Ben. I think it's going to be forced on us regardless.
Have we upgraded? Have we upgraded, or is it a sideward step, or is it a downgrade?
we haven't upgraded in terms of his experience and his winning pedigree, but what we have upgraded is this guy is on the up. Van Heck's trajectory is getting better and better and better. If you see Van Heck, that's the kind of signing you make when you want to buy someone that's got potential. That's what potential looks like. Someone who's consistently getting better and who's got some, good Premier League experience behind him. So I think right now, I think Romero's better, but I think Van Heck will become better. I think Van Heck will be the better player.
Okay. Keep going. So what about Tonali and Fernandes?
Tonali I like. I don't understand people that don't like him, don't want him. My only concern is he doesn't get goals, but then some will say that's not his job to get goals. But we got rid of Paulinho, who got us quite a lot of goals. Tonali doesn't replace that. So that means whatever forward we get, not only has that forward got to get goals, but he's also got to replace Paulinho's goals that we've lost. But let's see what happens with the forwards we sign. But overall, Tonali, yeah, he's a progressive football player. He's someone that conducts the midfield. He's the one that will push us up the field. So in an attacking team that De Zerbi's going to be, yeah, Tonali all day long. I know there's a few people out there that have dismissed him. I don't get it. I think Tonali's going to be a top signing for Tottenham Hotspur. My only concern is we've signed 2 midfielders that don't get goals. And this kind of conversation of, but it's not their job to get goals. It's the whole team's job to get goals because we don't have goal scorers at the club. And I don't think we're going to go and sign 3 goal scorers. Fernandes, loads of skill, loads of talent, but his output isn't there. He hasn't yet shown he's got output. So I'm hoping that he shows that under De Zerbi. The good thing is he's 21.
Yeah, but in the Premier League, who's what do you call it? In the Premier League, in the top teams, Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, they have massive output. Like, you look at the top midfielders in the positions that Tonali and Fernandes are going to be playing in, it's not their job really to be the goal scorers or the ones to get 10, 15 goals, is it? So why should we expect Fernandes and Tonali?
Arsenal play different football. They're more pragmatic, defend, score from a corner, 1-0 to the Arsenal. We play a completely different game of football.
Yeah, but Fernandes was in that kind of team last season in West Ham. He was playing under Nuno.
West Ham were dog shit, same as Tottenham.
Yeah, but I'm talking about style of play.
He never saved them. He never kept them up, did he? He got relegated with Southampton as well, Fernandes.
Yeah, we're talking about...
I think Fernandes is a risk, right? It's going to, for me, it's going to go one or two ways. Either it's going to be an expensive flop, or De Zerbi's going to nurture a very young, very skillful player that can push on and actually become a top player for Tottenham. What's funny is if you put Bentancur, Archie Gray, and Fernandes next to each other last season, do you know? Per minutes played, there's no difference between the 3 of them in terms of goals and assists. If you look, based on the minutes they played, Fernandes played the most minutes, got 3 goals, 3 assists, and Bentancur played less minutes, 2 goals, 2 assists. Then Archie Gray, he had 1 and 1 and played something like 700 minutes less than Fernandes. But if you do it on a per minutes ratio, there is no difference in terms of output. I'm just talking about output, right? Forget skill, because Fernandes is above both of them. When it comes to skill, dribbling, he's better. But in output, goals and assists, there's no difference last season between Archie Gray, Bentancur, and Fernandes. And in terms of pass completion, Bentancur's better than Fernandes, and Archie Gray practically matches Fernandes. And I'm just looking at the output stats.
Yeah, so, but that doesn't mean much to me.
You say that, Ben, Sim. You say that, Sim, but for me, and I've done a lot of videos this summer on my channel about players that we've signed, players that we should be looking at, players that we're linked to. I think output needs to be a really big factor that Tottenham look at, because we need creators and we need players that can link up those passes from the midfield to the front 3 and players that can put the ball in the back of the net. That's all output for me. Mm-hmm. Which is why I was against Solanke when he came to Tottenham. A lot of fans got excited by Solanke. And I said, yeah, but look at this guy. He's had 1 good season in like 8 years. He's come to Tottenham and look, it's the same crap. But Fernandes is 21. It's a bit different, right? He can be nurtured. He can be taught. He can be guided, which is why I'm saying it's going to go one or two ways. He's either going to be that same player that's got all the skill but no output, or De Zerbi's going to refine that and link it with the players we've got and actually make Fernandes into a top player for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm just going to have to wait and see.
Their job is not, obviously it'll be nice if they can get some output as well, but their job is to increase the opportunity for output from our forward players. That's going to be Fernandes and Tonali's job. So I understand your reservations, our forward players aren't getting enough output, but the problem I find that we've had over the last few years is that we haven't been facilitating the forwards anywhere near enough. Like we were having games last season where we wouldn't have whole games we wouldn't have a touch in the penalty area. How is a striker or anything supposed to get a goal? A lot of it obviously was down to the tactics, but also some of the players just weren't. It wasn't their kind of. They weren't good at getting the ball forward. They weren't good at being press resistant or playing between the lines or progressive passing. If we had these players, now we've got Tonali and Fernandes, you're going to see more chances of goal, more chances for output, and hopefully more goals and assists for the forward players. Now, I understand we all want, I would love to have, Fernandes get De Bruyne kind of numbers or whatever, or Lampard have a 20-goal a season centre mid. I'd love that, but that's not going to be their job. Their job is to facilitate the forward players. So for me, it doesn't bother me that they don't have high numbers in output, because hopefully we sign players, and also I'm expecting increased output from our current forward players. But even without that, I'm also expecting whoever we sign to have much better, hopefully better output.
People
there.
Forget James Maddison is back now.
And Maddison.
James Maddison, after a pre-season with him, back from an ACL back end of last season, he provides output.
Sim, I don't expect anything from Tell, Solanke, and Richarlison. Honestly, I don't think
Rishi will be sold. Rishi will be sold, I think.
Well, Solanke and Tell, I don't think any of them should be at Tottenham Hotspur. I think all three are absolute bang average. Honestly, for what we want to do as a club, top four, win trophies, hopefully that's what we want. I do not see Tell, Richarlison or Solanke having any space at this football. The way I feel about Ben Davies is the way I feel about those three. I haven't got the time of day for them. I'd replace them all tomorrow. Mohamed Kudus, obviously you'd keep him. You've seen he's got talent. He can beat players. I actually prefer Mohamed Kudus to go into the 10, if I'm honest with you, because he gets doubled up on the wing and people shut him down. Whereas in the middle, he can go left or right because he's 2-footed and can cause a lot more problems. But if he's going to be the right forward, fine. He's a talented football player. I'm delighted that we've got Mohamed Kudus. Maddison, are we going to get more than half a season out of him? Probably not. So, again, with Maddison, lovely player, scores goals, creates goals, loves the club as well. There's so much to like about Maddison, but he's just never available. And this is the problem we've always had with him. And I don't know if that's going to change. So for me, I need to see 3 goal scorers come into this club. Otherwise, you've got 2 really good centre-backs we've signed that can play out from the back, compose, can step into midfield, can help drive the team forward. You've got Tonali that can drive us up the field. You've got Fernandes who's got skills, can beat a man. Let's see if he can create. We get to that final third, the whole thing needs replacing. Whole thing.
How about Eli Krupi? Happy if we bring him in?
Yeah. What are we doing here? Look what we've got at the club right now. If we get Krupi, that's a player that can... And do you know what? He's versatile. He can play multiple positions. So he's someone that can... Tonali and De Zerbi, they've got 2 really good qualities. They're both very tactically adaptable. Tonali, this is another thing that I heard someone say to me, Tonali doesn't suit our tactics, all these tacticos. I'm thinking, you're talking absolute shit. Tonali is tactically one of the most adaptable midfielders in the league. How can a player not fit our tactics if he's tactically adaptable? What? It makes no sense to me. De Zerbi and Tonali are both very tactically adaptable. So for me, that's a good thing to have a player like Krupi who can play multiple positions, because that means if we adapt the tactics, he will be able to adapt with it because he can play multiple roles. So, yeah, Krupi all day long. I mean, that'd be a very good signing for us, and that would actually calm down some of the concerns I've got about us not having goals in this team. Because look, as it stands, guys, and it's early doors, right? I'm not dismissing anything. I'm not trying to put it down on it. I'm just saying it as it is right now. We've lost Harry Kane's goals. We've lost Son's goals. We've lost Brennan Johnson's goals. Paulinho, who's not a goal scorer, but scored quite a few important goals for us last season. We've lost his goals. We've got to replace these goals. I think we need to sign 50 goals. I don't care where they come from. The goalkeeper, the subs, the left winger. I don't care where they come from. We need to find 50 goals if we're going to get into top four. If you think we can get top four next year, we've got to find 50 goals. Maybe 10 of them.
How many goals of the 50 does Krupi bring?
I don't know. I don't know.
So how can you say you need to sign 50 goals? Like Krupi, Nusa, Savinho, these are the guys on the list right now.
If you sign a striker that gets 20 goals, and then you sign 2 wingers that get you 10 goals each, that's 40. And then if we can get another 10 from Kudus, Simmons when he comes back, Maddison, couple from Fernandes.
Also, are you not failing to take into account what just playing more Deserby ball, which we haven't seen really, because he had to play kind of a half of whatever you want to call it, kind of style in those 7 games just to keep us up. You know, we saw when we had Ange, for especially our first season, we had 1 game a week, all the players seemed to... It was like Richarlison was scoring, Brennan was scoring, obviously we had Son scoring. So, like, obviously, I'm with you. We need goal scorers. No. But listen to what I'm saying. I'm with you. I want more. I want Krupi. I want more goal scorers. But do you not think that just playing more Deserby ball, more an attacking style, we will get naturally a bit more output out of these attackers than we were seeing last season?
Yeah, we should get more, but at the same time, guys, I just don't think they're good enough. We'll create more chances, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get more shots away. There's no doubt. You're right. I do agree with you, Sim. I just feel that what's happening in this window, right? It's taken everyone by storm. Like no one saw this coming. Like rival fans, our fans, no one saw this coming. And from being 17th, it's now we can get top 4. We can get top 4. It's like, hold on a minute. Hold on. Whoa.
Some are saying we can win the league still.
See, this is what I.
He was right. Delegation was right. Now it's turned all Tottenham fans into overdrive. Should have relegated us.
I'll tell you what. If we, I just.
All I'm saying, still, Leicester the year before they won it, same points, same goal difference. Who says we can't do it?
I just feel that we will not get top 4 unless we get some proper goals from different areas bought into this team, not just from the existing players. And I think right now, as it stands with this current squad that we've built, 1 game a week, I think top 6 is definitely on. Like we can genuinely compete for top 6. Whether we get it or not, I don't know, because there's a lot of factors that are going to come into it. How the other teams do in the transfer window, how injuries play out for us. There's a lot of factors, right? But definitely top 6 is possible. Man United was 16th last year. They bought 3 really good players. They got 3rd. So that's why I'm saying top 6 minimum, right? We should be challenging for it.
Yeah.
However, top 4, they signed Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko. Goal scorers. We need to do that bit. If we can get that bit sorted between now and the start of the season, then yeah, I think the top 4 conversation is one that isn't far-fetched and it's actually realistic. Out of nowhere, it becomes realistic. But we've got to get those players in. Can I mention one more thing? Because you mentioned, what's his name? The guy from Leipzig, the Norwegian lad.
Nusa.
I did a video on Nusa, and he's interesting. He's got better and better each year. He's actually like Van Heck. He got 1 goal, 1 assist. Then he got 2 goals, 2 assists. Then 3 goals, 3 assists. And then last year, 4 goals, 4 assists. So he's constantly improved each year.
So in 10 years, he'll be 10 goals, 10 assists. Is that what we're saying?
So if we sign him at 31, right, we've cracked it. He's one of the top dribblers in Europe. 123 dribbles. He had 61 shots. But, and this is the but, chances created was something like 8. And his goals and assists are really low. Nusa, he reminds me of Fernandes. Young, same age, by the way. They're both 21. Skill, talent. Where's the output? Nusa's very similar to Fernandes on the wing. bags of skill, unbelievable dribbling ability, probably one of the best dribblers in Europe for his age. He's excellent at it. Where's the output? So I'm not sure signing Nusa and Fernandez, two 21-year-olds, both full of skill, both lacking output. I don't know if that's too risky to have in the same team. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there's got to be some guarantees. Like, we've got to have some assurances. Like, when you sign Harry Kane, you know you're going to get 20 goals. If you sign particular players, you know what you're going to get. With Fernandez and Nusa, there's quite a bit of risk attached to it. There's always risk attached to every signing, but some signings there's not really risk. Like, you know what you've bought. I just, if you were to say to me now, would you rather sign Harry Wilson or Nusa? I'd take Wilson.
Wilson.
17 GA last year, 10 goals, 7 assists. One of the best.
You just went mad for Solanke only having one good season. Now you want to sign Wilson after one good season.
He had a decent season before that as well. Obviously not as good as this one. But if those were the two
but the guy's what, nearly 30.
So would you bring Brennan Johnson back?
No.
He has output. He has output. He has output.
He has output, but he's got no talent. He's got no skill. And we're going to just play those balls to the back post across the line, and Johnson pops up back post. We had a very specific way of setting up Johnson, where it was almost like this choreographed Johnson goal. It's like, yep, Johnson's going to score because this is how the move looks. I want us, with the front three that we sign, there's got to be some guarantees of goals. That's why I'm also on the fence with Savinho. I love Savinho. The Savinho at Girona was amazing. Got goals, assists, beat players for fun. Was one of the best wingers in Europe at the time. Played in a very risky attacking team. Was given the freedom of the park. He's gone to Man City, more constraints. It's more methodical. Pep wants it done a certain way. Got rotated between the wings, had an injury. Not quite worked out for him. But if we were to bring him, I like him, but again, is he going to give us output? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't want us to sign too many players that are risky on the output end, if that makes sense.
Just quickly, Stel, Vuskovic, Bergvall potentially leaving. What are your thoughts on letting go of those players? Like, you happy to let go of them for good fees, or there are some fans who are saying they're too talented, you have to keep them around?
I think we've made a mistake letting Vuskovic go. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. Really good. As in very, very good. But when someone offers you £50 million for a player, how much did we buy him for? 5 million, 3 million, 10? I don't even know.
Who, Vuskovic?
It was about 15,
Yeah,
10 or
like
15 or something, between 10 and 15.
You buy a player for 10 million and someone gives you 50 million and they haven't even played in the Premier League. Mate, you take that. I think we had to take that deal. The offer, everyone's got a price, right? If tomorrow someone said to us, who's our best player? Who would you say is our best player right now at Tottenham?
Our best player?
Van de Ven, maybe?
Yeah, Mickey.
Right, if someone said tomorrow 150 million for Van de Ven, you'd sell him, right? Sell him all day long. Go and get 3.
I wouldn't sell him.
If someone offered us 150 million.
Bro, we're spending 250 million without even selling anyone. We don't need to sell anyone for the money.
Imagine what else we could buy. Right? I think every player's got a price, is kind of what I'm trying to make. And I think Vuskovic, you can't turn down 50 million for a 19-year-old who hasn't even kicked a ball in the Premier League. I mean, that's bonkers.
Yeah.
Let him go. Take the money, and hopefully we reinvest that into a top goal-scoring player for this club, and then people won't worry that Vuskovic is gone.
But if he actually realises his potential, we can potentially get him back with that buyback option as well.
Right, so this is the trade-off. Guaranteed 50 million today, maybe 100 million in 4 years. Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you go for the guarantee or do you play the maybe game? I think where Spurs are now, we just got to go for the guarantees.
And we get 20% sell-on, so if he goes for 100 million, so we still get a kickback from that as well. We get 20 million from that, so we've essentially sold him for 70. if it goes for 100 million there.
I would have liked, in an ideal world, I would have liked us to not have re-signed Ben Davies, sell Dragusin, sell Danzo or Romero, whichever one, I don't care, and then keep Vuskovic as our fourth choice centre-back. I would have loved us to do that. But from what I've read, he didn't want that. He didn't want another loan. He didn't want to be a bit part player. He wanted to play every week. So if that's true, then we had to sell him.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want another loan. But in an ideal world, I would have kept Vuskovic and made him our fourth choice centre-back and built him for the project. A bit like what Arsenal did with Saliba. They brought in Saliba. For 2 years, he went on loan, came back, and they made him the first choice centre-back. And then look, they won the league. He's one of the top centre-backs in world football now. So I think we should have done that with Vuskovic. But the difference is Vuskovic just didn't believe he was going to get a starting place at Tottenham. Yeah. And when you're signing and you're signing Senesi, if you're Vuskovic, you're thinking, what am I doing at Tottenham?
And it's the same thing for Bergvall as well. You know, we've just signed 2 midfielders, Conor Gallagher in January as well. Like, Bergvall must be feeling exactly the same.
But Bergvall, we have to sell. We've completely fucked him up. We've messed him up. We've done him wrong. When he came to Spurs, I watched him pre-season under Ange, when Ange first came. The way he was linking up the ball in the final third, some of his one-touch football, there's a reason I think Barcelona wanted him. I thought this is a really good young player here. I like this. I like what I see. And then through the absolute mess that we got into in that second season of Ange with the injuries, the kids being thrown in the deep end, Ange refusing to change tactics. And then last year under Frank, which was shambolic. And then Tudor, which was the worst of all. I think in that 2-year cycle, at a very crucial age of where he's breaking from youth football into men's football, you know, I've always spoken about how that's the hardest bridge to cross. And we've got to get the development right there. We fucked it with him. And it's not just him. You could say Archie Gray and others, we completely mismanaged him. Archie Bergvall has had 4 managers in 2 years. How on earth do you develop a young player like that?
It's true.
4 different philosophies, 4 different styles of play, 4 different choice of starting 11. With Bergvall, we have to sell him because we've messed him up. We've got it completely. We mismanaged him, guys. Same with Archie Gray. Same with. You could even maybe say Odebert and Tell. You know, I'll give them a bit of leeway. I'll make it fair. Souza. Well, no, Souza came towards the end of the cycle. So.
Haven't even heard Souza's name mentioned.
I know. He's going to go out on loan. He's going to go out on loan.
Name one young player we've signed in the last 2-3 years that's actually turned out to be really good. Like, really stand out. And, like, what a really good signing you've turned out to. I can't think of any.
Well, as in they're good players, or you know they've been like starters in the team. You know, like
I guess Mickey was fairly young when we signed him.
Yeah, 22 was he?
22.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 18, 19 year old, like Dele Alli. When we signed Dele Alli, look what happened.
No one's kind of made the impact he has. Yeah, I hear that.
And I just look at all the youngsters we've signed, and what we've done is it's a combination of signing players that weren't good enough and signing players that actually were good, but we've completely mismanaged their player pathway.
I think the thing is, Bergvall and Gray have done well, but Dele Alli came into like a functioning system and a functioning team under a long-term project with a long-term manager. Like, it's completely different, isn't it?
They both won our Player of the Years, but we've been 17th twice.
Yeah, but Ben, like, this is like we agree. This is what I mean. We've mismanaged their process. Like the mess that we got into as a club is the worst environment to be trying to nurture a young player. Really, what you want is a functioning team that's got something about them that a young player can come in and out, and eventually just stay there for a bit longer and maybe cement a place, which is kind of what we had under Redknapp's, under Poch's. It's currently, you know, if you're a young player, go to Arsenal, go to Man City. You're going to really well-functioning teams, or go to a team that maybe isn't super well-functioning, but there's no expectation, there's no pressure. Like a Brentford, like a Brighton, where there's not a lot of expectation, so there's not a lot of weight on your shoulders when you come on the pitch and you can find your feet. But when you come to a Big Six club, if that Big Six club, with the weight of expectation, the anger of the fans because they pay the highest ticket prices in the land, so they're going to demand a lot more, when you go to a big six club as a youngster, if you don't go into a well-oiled machine, you're pretty much set up for failure. And I think that's what's happened to so many youngsters at Tottenham Hotspur over the years. They've come with good intention. I think Bergvall, actually, guys, is a really good player. I know he gets a lot of stick from some parts of our fan base. I think he's a very good player, but I also think we've fucked him up. I think we've messed him up.
Probably right.
Yeah.
But look, a lot of things to be positive about, a lot of things to look forward to next season. Even a lot of things to look forward to in the next couple of weeks with where else this newfound wealth is going to be stuck on. But we'll see what happens still.
I'll tell you the one thing I'm looking forward to next season is for a long, long time, I just haven't seen us play the kind of football that wins games, but wins it in a way where we control the ball, we control the tempo, we dictate the game, we take it to the opposition, and we can win games. And I hope next season I see a lot more of that. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not expecting every week. But if I see that for at least half a season and the foundations of what's coming next is there, that will make me happy, because then the signs of an actual project are there. My only reservation is I need to see us bring in the goal scorers. But look, there's 6 weeks left of the transfer window, 8 weeks left, something like that. Yeah, so let's see where we end up. But
one last question, Stel. Very last question. Will relegation be good for us next season?
in 3 years' time, in 3 years' time,
You'll be thanking him in 3 years' time. Then.
one of two things is going to happen. We're going to be finishing second or third. We're going to be that top four club again, and then Tottenham are either going to say, right, there's £250 million. Go and sign 3 top players and get it over the line. And then I will be in the mud. Like, I will be so deep in the mud, I may have to just disappear for about 4 years.
So wait, is you're arguing that if we would have got relegated and then come back up and then got into a title challenge, then we would have spent the money. But now we didn't get relegated. Now we're not going to spend the money for getting to a title challenge. Is that the argument?
Wait, hold on. I only gave you half of my point. The other half of my point was, we get second, we get third, we're top four again, and then it's job done. We're back in the top four. Nothing to see here. Then relegation was a must. We needed that catastrophic. We needed the club to crash and burn, and for Enoch just to get out of the club and not trick us with what they're doing right now. But this is why we need to have this conversation in 3-4 years' time. All
right, we'll speak to you in 3-4 years' time, Stel. Big up to you, Stel. Thanks for coming on. Everyone do go subscribe to Tottenham Away, Ole, and we'll see you very soon, Stel.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys.
Good to see you, Stel.
Bye-bye.